Could Georgia's Dillon Bell be the next Ladd McConkey? I'm going to talk about it right after the stinger. It's Felix Sharp at Sharp Review on Twitter for CampusToCanton.com. I hope you like the video. I hope you like the content that we're trying to put out while we're trying to push this Campus to Canton format. And maybe I've got some Georgia fans in the on the channel for the first time today. Basically, what a Campus to Canton fantasy league is you got a NFL team, an NFL fantasy team, and a college team. And your college team serves as the pipeline to your NFL team. So, you know, we're a little bit different than like legacy college football media around here in that our content is really player focused. So, hey, maybe you like stuff like that. Go ahead and drop a like on the video. Maybe we can get this to like, I don't know, 25 likes, something like that. I don't know how well this video is going to do. Speaking of like player values, I was on the Twitters today and I was touting how last offseason, our group, our company, we really hit some of our flag plants. Speaking of the aforementioned Ladd McConkey, that was one of my flag plants. Carson Beck was one of my flag plants. Ray Davis, Travis Hunter, Jackson Dart, those were all some of our flag plants as a company on Campus to Canton Live, which you can catch on Wednesday nights between 8 and 9:30 there. And so I was tweeting that last year saying, who are the players this year that you can pick up, that you can roster, like Carson Beck, like Ladd McConkey, that might be out on waivers right now. Waivers not rostered in your fantasy leagues, those who are uninitiated. And lo and behold, a Georgia Bulldogs fan mentioned one Dillon Bell from Georgia. Now, Dillon Bell's his name has been circulating a little bit around here, around the company, because Corey Piera, check out the Campus to Canton podcast feed, Back to Debbie, where they talk about players and their NFL potential. He's a big fan of Dillon Bell. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't been paying that close attention to everybody on Georgia. I mean, listen, London Humphreys, Colby Young, Dominic Lovett, back in his time at Missouri, I've been paying attention to them, but I had not really heard of Dillon Bell. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and check this guy out to see, could he actually be, you know, a player that you have to roster here in 2024. And it's funny. Let's start with this. So Ladd McConkey was a 3-star in the 2020 class, and Dillon Bell was a 3-star in the 2022 class. Now, there's wherein the similarities between the two they're not similar at all. Ladd McConkey, and I said this all year last year, my comp for him was, I was being secretive, but I said my comp for him was J.J. Watt's teammate in Mount Pleasant. And I was referring to when J.J. Watt and Antonio Brown both were playing on offense for the Chippewas stand-up Mount Pleasant. I comped Ladd McConkey to Antonio Brown. It's funny because then I saw somebody from PFF do the same thing like later, you know, in the draft cycle. But my point being is when you watch Ladd McConkey, yeah, he suffered from injuries, but you didn't have to watch him long to say, ooh, this dude can run some routes. He is hard to stay next to if you're a defensive back. He has explosion, and he has like that quick twitch separation ability that would lead you to think the NFL would prioritize him. That was easy to see last year, and plus there were articles circulating last year that the NFL thought that he was a potential second-round draft pick. Now, what is Dillon Bell? Because we really want to talk about Dillon Bell and see if is he the next guy who can make the leap from being like in that 3-star realm and then outshine some of the more highly touted or more highly coveted recruits in his class. Now, you know, Corey and Georgia Bulldogs fans, you know Dillon Bell, 6'1", 210 pounds, a physical and versatile player. Lines up in the backfield a ton. They use him on jet sweeps. They use him behind the line of scrimmage and use his physicality to get yards after the catch. I mean, you see him get the read option, play the running back role in the read option a ton. And I can see why Corey would like him. It's because of that versatility. In the spring game, they threw to him early and often, deep. They threw to him a little bit deep. He caught what should have been a touchdown in the front pylon over the shoulder. He's returning kicks for Georgia. Again, you know, I don't know if they're going to use him in the backfield this year, but they did last year. I mean, this year you got Roderick Robinson, you got Trevor Etienne, probably one of the better backfields in the country. So he has this versatility, right? Anytime you see a wide receiver who's returning kicks, who's lining up outside, who's used in the backfield, you start to get that name in your head, Deebo Samuel, right? And if you think about how Deebo Samuel was used at South Carolina, there is some similarity. However, in my opinion, I don't know that there's anything that Dillon Bell does that's exceptional that would lead me to believe that he's going to be a player that the NFL prioritizes. So when I'm thinking about campus to Canton freshman and supplemental drafts, where should I roster this guy? Where should I draft him? I don't know, like somewhere after the 10th round, because if I think about Georgia's wide receiver core, they're going to spread the ball around. Oscar Delp, Dominic Lovett, London Humphreys, Dillon Bell, Ra Thomas is still there. Arian Smith can still take the top of the defense. So can London Humphreys, who they just brought in. Lawson Lucky is an excellent tight end there with Oscar Delp. So I don't see. Now, I say all of that. I say they're going to spread the ball around. But then in the spring game, Carson Beck was absolutely targeting Dillon Bell a whole bunch. But I just don't think that he does any one thing exceptionally well. When I'm projecting a player to the NFL, they got to have that, like, versatility is good, but Laviska Shenault was versatile. Now, what's he doing with, I don't know, the third or fourth team that he's been on in the league? You know, he was versatile. There aren't that many players like Deebo Samuel who can be that well-rounded, where your offensive play caller is also going to use them in that versatile way. What's likely to happen when Dillon Bell, if he gets drafted, probably a day 3 draft pick, what happens when he gets to the NFL? His offensive coordinator is going to go to him to tell him play flanker, tell him play slot, and that's it. I don't think they're going to put him in the backfield and use him on. They're going to have somebody more athletic than him for kick returns. So, like, can you put him into one of the 3 wide receiver roles? Can you put him into X? Can you put him into the slot? Can you put him into flanker? You know, I don't know that he's just not an explosive, quick twitch athlete. He's not big enough or physical enough to be a dominant NFL X. He's like a tweener in between all 3 of those positions, which is why Georgia uses him that way. Sometimes you see him line up at flanker. Sometimes you see him line up at X. Sometimes you see him run the screen. Sometimes you see him take the handoff. He's just a versatile player. So, Corey, and to this Georgia fan on Twitter who said they like Dillon Bell, I like him too, but not nearly as much as I liked Ladd McConkey last year, who was putting defensive backs on skates. You know, Dillon Bell is just not that type of player. He's totally different. Let me know what you think in the comments. Dillon Bell, do you like him or not? Is there some other player, whether it be on Georgia or somewhere else in the country, that you don't think is really being touted or highlighted as much as you think they should be, and they should be rostered? And if you haven't played in the Campus to Canton League and you're just checking out the channel for the first time, you absolutely need to. I'll put a link in the description box. Like the video. 25, I said. 25? Let's do it. 25 likes, and peace. Catch you in the next video.